Hello, I'm Jeff. I'm the owner of MouthpieceGuy.com. In this video, we're going to compare our dental impression kits with the impression kits from other mouthguard companies you will find online. You're going to find about 3 other main companies besides ourselves online when searching for a custom mouthguard. Here in front of us today, we have kits from all 3 of them. At the end of this video, we're also going to show you the impression that I was able to take using their kits. That way you can see the end result for yourself. Before we get started, you may be wondering why this is so important to us. The fact is, not all mouthguards are created equally. Just like cars, shoes, clothes, boxing gloves, there's levels to this stuff. You got your low-end product, your mid-grade product, and your high-end product. We're the high-end product. Now in the dental industry, the foundation of a high-quality product is a high-quality impression. You can ask any knowledgeable, experienced dentist or dental technician, and they'll tell you this exact same phrase. Garbage in equals garbage out. Basically what that means is if the laboratory receives a garbage impression, they're going to make a garbage product. That's all there is to it. I've been a full-time dental technician since 1997, and I've had tens of thousands of impressions pass through my hands in my career, and I can tell you without a doubt, the quality of the final product is based off the quality of the impression. So, that being said, let's get started. Okay, so we're not going to mention any names for legal purposes. Also, I don't want to dog any companies directly. Any custom mouthguard you get is going to be good, especially if you're comparing it to a Boil and Bite. But let's go and start with this kit to my far right. We're going to do a pros and cons. So the pros, what I like about this kit is they send you with 2 sets of putty and 2 impression trays. So they're giving you 2 shots to make an impression, which is cool. However, one of the cons, what I don't like about this, is the impression trays that they're sending you. These are garbage. This is not a proper impression tray. I don't care what anybody says. This is horrible. So even though they're setting you up to take 2 impressions, which is good, they're really setting you up to take 2 crappy impressions. So even though you think in your head, oh, cool, this company gives me 2 shots, they're giving you 2 shots to fail. That's just a fact. The other thing I don't like is the amount of putty that they're giving you. So you're going to mix the green and the white together to take your impression. This isn't enough putty to capture the full anatomy of your teeth, the soft tissue, the palate, behind the rear molars. It's just not enough, especially if you're 6'2", 200-pounder. You're going to have a much bigger arch, bigger teeth, so you need more putty. So what I like about this kit, they send you they give you 2 shots to take a good impression, but they're really giving you 2 shots to take 2 bad impressions. This is a joke. This is horrible, beyond horrible. So that's kit 1. So the next kit we're going to go over is kit number 2, right here. Now, real quick, pros and cons, what I like, what I don't like. What I like is they use decent trays. This is actually a real good tray. I know this brand. We use this brand. We use this exact same tray. So the trays they're sending are good trays, way better than kit number 1. What I don't like is the sizes they send you. So they do send you 3 different sizes, which is good. However, they send you basically an extra small, a small, or an extra small, a medium, and a large. The extra small tray that they send you with, you'll probably never, ever, ever use this tray. This tray fits probably a young kid, maybe 6 years old at the most. So even though they're sending you with 3 different size trays, one of them you're never going to use. Now, this company makes a larger tray. If you're a big guy, 6'2", 200 pounds, tall guy, big bones, you're going to have a large arch. More than likely, their largest tray that they send you with is not going to fit you. So again, what I like is it's a good tray. They send you with 3 different sizes, but what I don't like is they're sending you really a limited amount of sizes. The largest tray, they're not sending you, and they're sending you with a really tiny tray that you'll probably never use. So there's that. What I do like, again, is they send you, you can see here, with 2 sets of putty. In the instructions, they tell you take 2 impressions if you need to. So they send you one pack of putty, do your impression. If it doesn't turn out good, you have a backup. So that's good. However, this is not enough putty to take a proper impression. Something about these companies, they don't understand that you need to have enough impression material to capture all the anatomy, all the soft tissue, all the teeth, behind the teeth. So again, what I do like, the trays, 2 sets of putty. What I don't like, not enough putty. So they're really setting you up to take 2 bad impressions. If that makes you feel good, that's on you. But really, for me, this is a fail also. It's better than kit number 1, but it's still not really a proper kit. Let's go on to our third kit right here in front of me. So first thing is, what I do like is they send you an impression as a sample of what a good impression should look like. So you take your impression, you compare it to the sample they sent you, and if it kind of looks the same, you ship it back to them. Cool. That's actually pretty cool. However, same scenario. They're setting you up to take a bad impression. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, these are the exact size impression trays. Exact size. So, how do I explain this? Everybody has different size teeth. Everybody has different size arch. So if I order a kit from them and my buddy orders a kit from them, who's to say that our teeth are going to be the exact same size? That's ridiculous. Everybody's different. That's how they discover they match up dead bodies, is by dental impression or dental records. So they send you with 2 impression trays of the exact same size. That's horrible. That's a fail. Second thing, they send you with a box of white putty, box of blue putty. Their instructions tell you to use half of the putty in each box. So they're giving you basically 2 sets of putty. Now me, as just a regular person, when I go to split this up in half and I go to split this up in half, how do I really know if I'm dividing it up equally? I don't. So it's just a guess. To me, I think that's kind of ridiculous. So they send you with 2 sets of putty, basically 2 impressions, take ball impressions. Okay, great. They're giving you 2 shots. But once again, I don't know how many times I can explain this. They're setting you up to take 2 bad impressions. If my teeth fit this, cool. If they don't, what do I do? I'm screwed. It's ridiculous. So again, impression kit number 3, it's a fail. I mean, if I had to grade these, kit 1 would be for sure like a D-. Kit 2, I would give them probably a solid B. Kit 3 gets a C. So of all these major companies, that are the main companies you're going to find online, none of them get a grade A. And I'm just being honest. This is just my experience talking. I'm not being biased. I'm just letting you guys know this is what to expect if you order their kits. So with all 3 kits, I mean, I would grade kit number 1 a D-. That impression tray is a fail. Kit number 2, I would give it a B at best. The lack of size trays I don't like, but I would give it a B. Kit number 3, with the 2 same size impression trays and me having to divide this putty up equally, I give it a C at best. This is just me being honest. This is my dental experience talking. I'm not being biased. This is just what you guys can expect if you order kits from any of these other companies you'll find online. Now, this last thing I want to talk about, it's not an impression kit. This company does 3D scans, and they do 3D printing of the molds of your teeth, and they make the Mouthguard on a 3D printed mold. So even though you can't really order them online, but you can go to a dentist, they have different dental locations that you can go to and get scanned. I need to show you guys what type of molds that these 3D printing, 3D scanning companies are creating. Here's a plaster mold of an athlete's teeth. If you look closely, you can see all the teeth, all the gums going all the way around the mold. Accurate detail, all the anatomy. You know, we even got the wisdom teeth here. I mean, this is really, I'd say, a perfect mold of somebody's teeth as far as accuracy and detail. Now, here's a 3D printed mold. Now, when I first look at this thing, I noticed that the clarity of the contour and the anatomy is horrible. I mean, if you just look real close, it's fuzzy. It almost looks like a drill bit drilled this out. Not only that, if you look around the gums here, it didn't capture any of the gums up high. If you see this little line right here, that's where the gums got cut off. Also, the sizing. If we took calipers, and I've measured these are actually the exact same athlete. The sizing of the width of these teeth, especially these premolars, these bicuspids, are actually smaller than the plaster model of the teeth. And the athlete, what the athlete told me when he wore the mouthpiece made from the 3D scan company is he said it felt like he was wearing braces because the mouthpiece was putting pressure on his teeth. It felt real tight. So when I discovered that the width of these molars is more narrow than what's in his mouth, that explained it. So even though 3D technology, 3D printing, all this stuff sounds awesome, when it comes to custom mouth guards, it's horrible. I'd probably go with one of the other kits before I went with the 3D printed model. I mean, this thing is a joke, really. And as much as cool as it sounds and as much as they charge, it is horrible. I would never use this, ever. And I wouldn't recommend anybody else using it. But if you want to, go ahead, that's on you. So now we're gonna talk about our impression kit. So right out the gate, we send you with 3 trays, just like kit number 2. However, we send you with 3 larger size trays. So even though our kit comes with the same medium and large tray as kit number 2, again, same manufacturer. It's a good impression tray. It comes with a medium and large. We also send you with an extra large. So for athletes with larger teeth, taller people, big bone structure, this is gonna fit them, okay? Our smallest tray that we send is basically a medium tray. This tray is probably gonna fit from a little kid, 8, 9 years old, to most females, even female adults. So even though we're not sending you with that super small tray, you're never gonna need it. And we're also sending you, like I said, with the extra large tray. And you'd be surprised how many athletes end up using that extra large tray. Just tall people, big bone, big structure, big smiles, big teeth. You're gonna have a large arch, so you're gonna need that extra large tray. Also, I would say one of the main things that sets our kits apart is the putty that we send. So our putty comes pre-packaged from the manufacturer, purple and white. You know, you mix 1 and 1 together, same thing as everybody else. However, we send you with 3 packs of putty. Depending on which size tray fits your mouth is going to dictate how many putty packs you're going to use. Now, our smallest tray requires 2 putty packs. If I was to match up, or if I was to mix up these 2 putty packs together, they're going to equal more putty than any of these kits. So we're able to capture all the anatomy, all the gums, all the soft tissue, the molars, behind the molars, everything. You have to use the correct amount of putty to achieve the correct impression. That's one thing that I believe you can't cut costs on. You have to provide enough putty. If you use the extra large tray, then we have the 3rd putty. So that way, it's plenty of putty to cover everything. There's no way you're gonna get a short impression, missing molars, anything like that. So besides the 3 different tray sizes, the amount of impression putty that we send definitely provides enough for anybody to get really a perfect impression that any dentist, dental technician will look at and be jealous of. I just got finished taking my impression with all the kits that we had here earlier, and I want to kind of show you guys the end results. I'll show you ours, I'll show you theirs, we'll do some side by side. You can see for yourself the kind of impressions that the other kits are producing versus the quality of the impressions that our kit's producing. So let's start with kit number 1. This is it right here. So right out of the gate, first thing that to me makes this a fail is this. This thing is so flimsy. This cheap impression tray that they send doesn't allow for a nice solid structure to hold the impression material in. So if you can see, I mean, this thing is just super flimsy and weak. Also, if you look here, not only is the back molar not completely molded, but the gums are completely missing also. On this side, and then on the left side, the gums here are completely missing. This is very, very short. A tall impression is a good impression. You really want the impression putty, the impression material, to really get up into your gums. That's called the vestibule area. You want it to really get all the way up there to get the full anatomy and soft tissue of your mouth. And this impression did not achieve that. You know, like I said, very short, missing here. Also, here, the width of my molar is very narrow. This is not the width of my real molar. I know that for a fact from seeing my impression hundreds of times. And what happened was this tray that they sent is so small. It's too small for my mouth. So what it's doing is it's actually putting pressure against my molar. So what's going to happen with this is they're going to pour a plaster model out of this, and they're going to make that mouth guard from that plaster model, and this area is going to be too small. It's not going to match what's in my mouth. That's the whole goal, is to match what's in your mouth. If it doesn't match what's in your mouth, it's not going to fit right. So even though it looks like all the teeth got molded, this impression should be good, it's a fail. This I would probably give, if somebody sent us a photo of impression that looked like this, I would give it, you know, a D+, C- at best. But again, this impression kit really, it's a fail. This impression kit, I give it a D-, really, maybe even an F. These trays are horrible. If we had better trays, we'd probably be able to achieve a better impression. So impression kit number 2, this was the impression kit that used the good trays, but they didn't send you with really the proper sizes. So luckily, their largest tray that they sent fits my mouth. If I had a larger mouth and I needed a larger tray, I wouldn't have had that with their kit. So again, that's kind of one of the things that makes me not like their kit so much. What I don't like about this impression, if you look, you can see this side looks pretty good, nice and tall, nice and rounded, got all the gums here. But over here, it's very short, gums are kind of missing, not very rounded. If you look from the front, you can see here how we're nice and tall here, and then kind of everything's completely missing here. The reason for this is because the amount of putty that they give you to take an impression is not enough. So basically, not enough putty to go up into the vestibule area and capture all the soft tissue anatomy. This impression, I would probably give it, I would say C+. You can make it work, but your mouth guard would be short. We want to make a tall mouth guard that protects the teeth and the roots and gums. So that's impression kit number 2. Impression kit number 3, this was the kit where they send you with 2 trays of the exact same size. Again, luckily, the tray that they sent fits my teeth. If my teeth were a lot bigger or a lot smaller, I'd be screwed. So what I don't like about this, if you look here, we're completely missing this area. The molar got molded here, but the side of the molar is missing. The gums here are missing. The gums here along this whole area are pretty short. Overall, I would give this maybe a B-, C+, B-. Some areas in the lab you can kind of touch up. We'd rather not. That makes a less accurate model. But again, this impression tray, they only give you one size. So luckily, it fit my teeth. If it didn't, I'd be screwed. So that's impression kit number 3. And then here's ours. This is what a dental impression should look like. Ask any experienced dental technician, any experienced dentist, and they're going to tell you this is a proper dental impression. So, check this out. Tall. Got all the gums, all the soft tissue anatomy, everything. Look at that right there. Look at the corners of the molars. Everything got fully molded. You can see how tall that is. Nice and rounded here. Got our anatomy, our frenum attachment. I mean, this right here, you can't get a better impression, just being honest. Whether you have a smaller mouth, a larger mouth, if your impression looks like this, you knocked it out of the park. If you compare the other ones, I mean, let's go ahead and compare. Look at this one. You know, check out that angle. You can see the sides. You know, it's okay, but it's not perfect. It's not great. You know what I mean? We want to make you the best mouth guard possible, and that all starts with the best impression possible. So here's this one. You can see that. See it from this angle. Look at the sides, especially this right side. I mean, this is what makes this impression, you know, fail, in my opinion. Okay, so there's that one. And then there's this thing. This is a joke of an impression. Look how short it is. If you look closely, you can see the width of my molar here. Kind of take a look there. Okay, now look at this one. Look at how narrow that is. It's horrible. It's probably 2 millimeters more narrow than my real tooth. This mouthpiece is not going to fit. What's funny is none of these impression kits make it mandatory that you send them photos for them to look at and inspect to make sure you got a good impression. Our impression kits, it's mandatory. When you're done taking your impression, you have to send us a couple photos from different angles so we can look at it and make sure you got a good impression. If you didn't, we let you know. You can take another impression. You can buy more putty online. We also offer a kit where for an extra few bucks, we'll send you with an extra set of putty. So even though, like I said earlier, these kits, a lot of these kits give you 2 sets of putty, you're going to do 2 bad impressions. So our kit, our standard kit, you only get 1 set of putty to do 1 impression. But if you want to kind of buy insurance, you know, a few extra bucks, we'll send you with 2 sets of putty. That way, if you fail the first time, you have putty right there on hand. So even though we don't send it to you right out the gate, it's an option. But the 1 kit we send you with the 1 set of putty, your chances of achieving a perfect impression are so much greater than any of these other kits. I mean, you can see for yourself. I mean, this is I've been in the dental business for 21 years. I've taken my own impression probably 100 times. I've seen thousands and thousands of impressions. So I have probably the most experience doing this than almost anybody. And this is what I was able to achieve. This is me doing it, knowing how to do this, you know, with my eyes closed. Like I mentioned earlier, one thing I liked about all these kits is they send you with 2 sets of putty. In my opinion, they're just setting you up to fail twice. Our impression kits, you only get 1 set of putty in our standard kit. But if you want, we do have an option for a few extra bucks where you can add a 2nd set of putty in your kit. So if you do kind of fail that first time, you have extra putty on hand. It's kind of like insurance. I think if you follow the instructions and follow the video and do everything right, you're probably going to knock it out the first try. But compared to these other ones, there's no way you're going to get an impression as good as ours with any of these. I mean, I have years of experience doing these impressions on other people, on myself, seeing them. So these level of impressions that I was able to achieve with these kits, which to me is still not very good. I mean, I can't imagine a random athlete at home that has 0 dental experience, has never done this before. I can't imagine somebody being able to get a better impression than me. So basically, like I said, they're setting you up to fail with the impression trays, the amount of putty. If I couldn't get a grade A impression with these kits, I don't think anybody can. So this is really, I just want to show you guys, this is what you can expect from competitors' kits and our kits. We're on a different level. You know, the final product is based off of this, so I'm sure you can kind of take this and imagine what the final product will be. Some of these mouthpieces probably aren't even going to fit my mouth at all, really. So I hope you guys kind of found this video useful, whether you end up purchasing a Mouthguard from us or not. It's still your choice, but at least you kind of have some information while you're shopping around trying to find the right company for you.